Probably meet the guest to my right, Mary Claire Logue, who's the Executive Director of NILSU Max. Thank you for having us. How are you?
Thanks for having me. Super excited to be here.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thanks for the invite. Let me just start with like a 10,000-foot view question to set the stage for people who might be curious. So NILSU Max is a play on Playfly Max. Explain, like I'm a third grader, what Playfly is in the relationship with LSU.
Yeah, absolutely. So Playfly Sports Properties is the multimedia rights partner of LSU Athletics. In third grader terms, Playfly Sports is going out and selling corporate partnerships for LSU Athletics, a main revenue driver of this entire entity. NILSU Max, or Playfly Max, is a subset of Playfly Sports Properties, and just like our sports properties teams is selling corporate sponsorships, NILSU Max is going out and selling NIL deals for our student athletes.
So the whole objective is, in the NIL era, especially in the new NIL era.
The new era.
It's I hate to say it this way, but all these deals have to be legitimized, right? It's no longer here's $1 million for a photo shoot.
Yep.
There have to be legit NIL deals. So explain to me, if you would, I guess this is a front end process. If you would maybe just explain how this is structured.
Yeah, exactly. So in this new era of NIL, true third-party NIL deals is what we call it. There has to be a business or a business entity that's providing goods and services to the general public. Those are the entities that are permitted to do NIL deals with student athletes. In layman's terms, think of it as true influencer marketing. Mm-hmm. So the purpose of NILSU Max is to work with businesses and entities that want to work with student athletes, want to get their foot in the door, but they don't necessarily know how. So our team is here to help navigate those conversations, help brands understand the world of NIL, because it's constantly changing. We're 4 years in. So help constantly changing, help them understand the space, and then figure out how we can tailor their marketing initiatives to best align with the value that a student athlete can bring to their campaign, and really bring that concept to life.
How does this differ than donating to the collective? Mm-hmm. Per se.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're thinking of a collective, right, typically that's just a donor dollar to an entity, and that entity being the collective would be paying the student athlete. What's different is we're working with businesses that are providing services to the general public, and then contracting on that business's behalf with a student athlete to do something to promote that actual business. So, and whether it be a social media post, doing an appearance at that business's local retailer location, anything and everywhere in between. The difference is we're working with legitimate third-party brands, and we're the intermediary agency helping them navigate the space.
So I'm certain you don't have the answer to this, but it's fascinating to know what is going to happen with collectives. That's just a very real question that everyone's asking right now in the new era, and I think collectives are still operating because you can't stop operating.
Right, yeah.
But I think you just have to be so multifaceted. So, one of the things that brands could do is they could DM a student athlete and say, "Hey, I'd love to do an NIL deal with you." What's the benefit for a business owner listening, watching, of doing a deal through NILSU Max as opposed to maybe going directly to the student athlete?
Yeah, there's a lot of benefit, a lot of value. We created NILSU Max to have this strategy to make things easier on a business. So there's several efficiencies and cost-saving benefits that come from it. From the efficiency standpoint, we, being NILSU Max, handle all of the student-athlete contracting, all of the student-athlete payment, and all of the student-athlete tax documentation. So we're alleviating all of that burden from a business. All that business is having to do is sign and execute one agreement with NILSU Max, and then we take the rest from there. From a cost-saving standpoint, there's also a lot of benefits. So by partnering with NILSU Max, you get access to a ton of the resources that LSU Athletics has. Just earlier in this year, 2025, we launched what we call the brand. Mm-hmm. I think you maybe had a chance to go see it earlier.
I went and toured it today. First time I've seen it.
For those of you listening, the brand is our in-house creative studio. It houses all of LSU Athletics, photographers, videographers, graphic designers. We have a grand, seamless studio that photo shoots happen in. And so by partnering with NILSU Max, you immediately have access to those studio spaces. So instead of having to go and lease your own studio space to do an NIL content in for additional costs, that's just embedded in what we're already doing at no additional charge. Likewise, with access to our photographers and videographers, we have a robust staff of trained individuals. They've been nominated for Emmys time and time again. It's very impressive what they do. And so through our partnership, again, you gain access to those resources at no additional cost.
And to be clear, like, this isn't something LSU is doing as a revenue generator for LSU. This is being done because it's influencing deals for student athletes that you need to do to remain competitive?
Yeah, exactly. So this is an added service to our student athletes. I think in the 4 years of NIL, a lot has changed, but one thing that's been constant is LSU's drive to be the best in this space and make sure we're equipping our student athletes and the greater Baton Rouge community with all the tools they need to be successful in this space so we can remain competitive. And so that's all that NILSU Max is. It's here to be a resource for brands and student athletes to really maximize the opportunities within the NIL space.
Mary Claire Logue is with us, Executive Director of NILSU Max. What's interesting, though, is like NILSU Max is only a few months old, right? I remember maybe talking to Clay Harris when was this not within the last 6 months,
Yeah,
right?
within the last 6 months. So we officially launched NILSU Max early in the new year,
Okay.
February, March.
Okay, so right at about 6, 7 months. But you've been here much longer than that. So, like, what were you doing before they're like, hey, you know what? You're going to do this now.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been here at LSU for going on 3 years now. Formerly, I was in our internal NILSU unit, which oversees all education, branding, and recruiting initiatives. And now in this new era, revenue sharing. So I was housed in that unit, primarily student athlete, focusing on branding strategies, helping student athletes with their social media, and then overseeing all of the education initiatives for our student athletes. I have a legal background, so it would help educate student athletes on what to look for in an NIL agreement, what maybe not to look for in an NIL agreement, things of that nature. And then as we shifted into this new era of NIL, we saw a real need for true third-party NIL. And so with that, we partnered with Playfly Max to launch what we now call NILSU Max. So the easiest way I can break it down is for the past 2.5 years, I've been focused on student-athlete branding advice and education, and now I kind of put my seller hat on and marketing hat on and help to work with these businesses to bring some of their marketing campaigns to life.
So what trends maybe are you noticing that have changed since certainly since July 1 with the rev share era?
Yeah, for sure. I think we've seen a lot of businesses get excited to jump into the space. Obviously, we see a lot of social media engagement with businesses. I think one thing we're starting to see more of in the third-party NIL space is a lot of user-generated content from our student athletes. So high production needs are always popular, but because we've trained our student athletes so well with how to utilize their iPhone to get good content, a big trend in the space right now is getting that UGC content. And then we're also seeing a lot of businesses kind of work to restructure the narrative of NIL in the greater landscape by incorporating philanthropic efforts into their NIL initiatives as well, which has been just really rewarding to work on. Our student athletes obviously have really appreciated that businesses are investing not only in them but in the greater larger Baton Rouge community as well to be able to give back to those in this area.
Businesses or the student athletes?
It's both, so it's twofold. So we see a lot of student athletes use some of their NIL earnings to give back to others. I think a prime example, Flau'jae Johnson, right, using her NIL to help with debt relief in the state of Louisiana.
Cool. I remember in baseball too. There was who was it Tommy White for every home run he hit? There was maybe Paul Skeens for every strikeout.
I think Jared Jones has done
Bear
some of
Jones
that.
did it this year. Yeah, Milam did that too as well. Yeah,
a lot of guys on
Chris
that program.
Stanfield.
Yeah,
very cool.
A lot of the student athletes are choosing to do good with their NIL, which we really appreciate. But we also see a lot of brands, using one of their student athlete appearances that as an asset that they've purchased to go and tour a local hospital or go to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, do a lot of things to give back to the community as well. And so there's been a lot of success in that space.
We got a couple of minutes. Let's talk about tonight. So, I mean, this is obviously such a beautiful venue. If you've never been into the South Stadium Club and Tiger Stadium, I mention all the time. I love that LSU has opened this space for outside events. I know this is an internal event, but it's allowed a lot of people to be able to come in here and see this, which is really it's a jewel. I mean, like Tiger Stadium is right there. It's beautiful.
Perfect view. We'll have a great sunset, hopefully.
It's an amazing spot for any event. But this is an opportunity tonight for businesses to come. Like, if you would, maybe for our listener, give a sense of what tonight's about and who should find time to come here tonight from 6 to 7:30.
Yeah, absolutely. Go time. It's open to all local, regional, and national business owners or entrepreneurs that have either, one, already engaged in NIL, or two, maybe haven't engaged in NIL yet but want to learn more about it and how to figure out how to dip their toe in the water. So we welcome all local and regional business owners to come here to Tiger Stadium, learn a little bit more about NILSU Max, how to get involved, and hopefully we'll answer some questions that you may have. It'll be a great night of networking. All of our head coaches are going to be here. So a really cool opportunity to be intertwined with the LSU Athletics staff and just feel one with everything that we're doing here and hopefully feel a little bit more educated on the space.
It starts at 6, as I understand, cocktail hour, and then the actual presentation will begin at
6:30, exactly.
6:30.
Yep. So doors open at 6 p.m. First 30 minutes are just going to be networking over happy hour. Programming starts around 6:30, and we're going to have a great list of panelists tonight to hear from, including head coach Jay Johnson. Head coach Brian Kelly will be here as well to address the audience. So stacked full of key stakeholders in the LSU Athletics space to be here tonight. We're really looking forward to it.
Well, it's obviously important. I mean, I think everybody that's listening or watching all shares the same common goal, which is you want to see LSU win. And for LSU to win, it's always taken money, whether it be for facilities or paying coaches or recruiting budget. Well, now part of that obviously is NIL. And this is such an important initiative of how to go about doing it. So if you're a business owner, you said local, regional, national business owner, entrepreneur, you want to learn more about NIL, 6 o'clock tonight here in Tiger Stadium, the South Stadium Club. Just come on.
Come on in. We welcome you.
Mary Claire Logue, the Executive Director of NILSU Max. We appreciate you for having us. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, it's our pleasure.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.